now!
Have you or someone you know had your life turned upside down because of your past?
Of course I have!
Everyone does background checks now, which makes it hard to bounce back.
What do you believe?
I believe your background shouldn't hold you back. It should pay you back. This podcast will inspire you, motivate you, and inform you with everything you need to rise above your past and not be afraid to say, go ahead, check my background. My name is J.Dan Gum, and this is Background Check.
You already know. Let's go. You can check my background. I'm a forgiving felon, so tell them that I won't back down now. You can bet I won't live in regret. It's time to earn some respect. You are tuning in to Background Check.
Hey everyone, welcome to Background Check. Hey everyone, welcome to Background Check Podcast. I'm your host, J.Dan Gum, and this is my co-host, Jessa, and Background Check Podcast, where we believe your background shouldn't hold you back.
It should pay you back.
Brought to you by Forgiven Felons, helping people with the past realize their future. And we got some good sponsors coming up. You're not gonna miss You're not going to want to miss the new sponsors coming up. They're amazing. We got one starting next episode. Not this episode, but next episode. Hey, things look different, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sad. We're having technical difficulties right now with one of our soundboards, and so they've already sent a replacement. That came in today, and the replacement doesn't work.
It's something with the channel.
Yeah, so we're sending it back, and we're going to get a new one. So we'll have it all back. The announcements will be back next week. The way it is, the ticker's missing too.
Yeah. Why is it?
Yeah, sorry. So shout outs are based on time, and what we're doing is we're collecting a database of all the names, putting them on a whole database, and then we'll put them in. We'll put them in one episode when we have time. But right now we're about to leave for vacation.
I know. Y'all are about to leave, and we're going somewhere, and then we're going to a different place.
So by the time you see this, it will be Monday. Okay, we left on early Saturday morning, so we went to bed early Friday night, and ready for our vacation. They're staying with Grandma and a friend, and so anyway, thank you for joining us today on the podcast. We have a great interview for you. It's an organization based out of Dallas, Rockwall, called One Man's Treasure. Okay,
And it gives us shirts.
Clothes, shirts, all that. And we interviewed the new executive director and the longtime executive director before him, Annette, Jenkins, and they show us what they provide for every man coming out of prison. They don't do it for women. I know, ladies, I get onto them in the show. Don't worry about it. I don't know, maybe one day, one of you ladies out there want to help us start a One Woman's Treasure. All right? And that way we help you ladies out. But listen, we have clothes and hygiene, everything for you ladies too. And you'll see that on an upcoming episode. We got a good sponsor coming up, and they're going to come on and they're going to show you that they help you with everything, especially the ladies. So, Rangers, hello.
Rangers.
First place still. The Astros got a little close. But they keep losing too. So, you know. Keep going down, Stros, and go Rangers. Anyway, how's school been?
Good. I still don't like the early morning.
What's new this week? Softball.
Oh, yes.
Getting ready to play softball. So, you like your team you're on?
Yes.
I like the coach. The coach seems pretty good. They're on the team called Diamond Bats. What else is new? You're gonna play volleyball, but that doesn't start
till summer.
Till winter.
Winter.
She's about to do tryouts. So there's one roster spot left.
There's one more.
And she's gonna try out to get that last roster spot. It's for club volleyball.
I'm gonna get it.
So, let's see. Anything else we need to talk about, announce? I plan on still, while I'm on vacation, uploading this episode on Monday. So hopefully it'll air on Monday because I won't be here to do any technical stuff. So hopefully you guys will see it on Monday, all right? And if not, we'll put it up when we come back. All right, we got we've already done 2-3 interviews, and they are so amazing. Jason Head coming up. Some of you know Jason Head. And so, yeah, well, we'll show it later. But thank you for tuning in. We just got back. I just got back. Me and Travis Henderson just got back from the Ferguson unit today. What's up, Ferguson? Today we're recording this on Thursday night. At least this part, the announcement. So we spent all day. Congratulations to all the graduates of the cognitive life skills, I believe. Life coaches, you did a great job with that class and that ceremony. And thank you for letting me come out, Ferguson unit. And then me and Travis went, and we just kind of bombarded the education building and just went class to class to class. So what's up, all you Ferguson guys? It was nice to meet y'all. Hope y'all, not very many of y'all knew about Pando and about Background Check Podcast, so hopefully y'all are spreading the word. Hey, what's up with the lights?
I changed them when he was gone.
I had them on blue for Rangers, and she puts them on like cop cars. I'm getting flashbacks of cops in my rearview mirror.
It's green.
Yeah, that's true. Well, when I was always drunk, it was always like, it was like blur. It was a blur. All right, well, listen, you're going to enjoy the interview. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to listen to the audio podcast as well. There's some great interviews
I'm on
there.
there. Gemma's on there.
Spread the word about Pando. Thank you, people. Hey, listen, you know who you are, but you people, you guys and gals who click that Accept Jesus Christ button, we want to pray over you right now, all right? Because we believe that getting saved is not just about pushing a button, but we also believe that it's asking Jesus into your heart and confessing and believing. And so we want to pray over you right now. And yeah, are you okay with doing that? So listen, and if you want to accept Jesus Christ right now and you don't know whether you're going to spend eternity in heaven when you die, you can do that. All right, we're going to pray right now. You ready? You ready? Mm-hmm. Y'all repeat after me. Father, in Jesus' name, by your Holy Spirit, I confess with my mouth, believe in my heart, that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins, was buried, and rose again after the third day. And now he's sitting by you, God, at your right hand, interceding for me. And I ask you to come into my heart today, to live as Lord and Savior. And I change my mind, I renew my mind, I renew my people, my places, and my things. And I give my life and heart to you. I don't just say I believe in you, but I follow you. I'm a disciple. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, Romans says if you prayed that prayer, that you are saved. And so go ahead and hit that accept Christ button, and get around the church. Get around the church. Get around some Jesus people, some Bible-believing people, and just stay in community. Stay in community no matter what. Relationship is what Jesus is all about. It's not Christianity. Christian was a derogatory word they used to call the people in Antioch, from Antioch. Jesus. Somebody told me today, I don't know if I want to kind of dipped into Christianity. I said, don't dip into Christianity. And he goes, I need to dive in. I'm like, no, don't dive into Christianity. Dive into Jesus. Get around Jesus. Lean into people that are leaning into Jesus. And you're going to see a difference in the type of behavior that true Christians portray. All right? We love y'all. We love y'all. We love them, don't we?
Yes.
We love y'all. My wife says hi. Gemma says hi. And stay strong. Have a great week this week, and we are praying for you, and we believe in you, and we believe the best is yet to come for you. We're praying for healing in your body, healing in your family, healing in restoration of your family. We're believing for parole for you. We're believing that even if you get denied parole, that you find your assignment while you're waiting for your answer. We love y'all, and don't forget to let your background not hold you back, pay you back.
Alan and Annette, welcome to Background Check Podcast. How are y'all?
We're good.
We're good. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Everybody's so happy that you're here. Could you hear the crowd cheering?
We could.
My daughters love that sound effect. So thank you guys for being here. We're honored to have you on the show today. So here we are, people, with one man's treasure. They came all the way from Rockwall, Rowlett. Which one is it?
Rockwall.
Rockwall. I couldn't remember. And we've been using One Man's Treasure now for quite some time. We haven't used them as much throughout COVID, and this year bounced back and this year moved because we had to limit how many people we had at our house. But we're back on track now. We're getting somebody out this week, somebody out next week, and hopefully they've sent their applications in. We'll double check with that. But we are so glad you guys are here, and we can't wait to share what you guys do. Most people that are already out know what you guys do, but my goal is to let everybody on the inside of prison, especially the inmates in Texas, the guys, because you don't do it for girls, and we hear that all the time. But one day maybe there'll be a one woman's treasure. Who knows? But until then, I'll just keep deflecting for y'all and defending y'all. all the letters we get. Why don't y'all do anything for women? I'm like, oh my gosh. But and we will. I mean, we do stuff for women. We just don't house women, and we have other organizations that we send people to for the women. But we're so glad you're here today, and Alan. You are the new executive director. Am I saying that position right?
You are exactly right, man.
Okay. Well, I've been so used to Annette, and we've been so used to Grace and Beauty running this organization. And now we have you. And so we need some explanation.
You have just the opposite.
And so I don't know much about you. I know you like to have fun. We've had fun in our pre-show and just hanging out. You've let me make fun of you. And I appreciate that. And so Annette, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm still here.
Wow.
I'm just turning over these big reins over to Alan.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be here to do some development.
So now why would you, a young woman, turn the reins over to an old man?
It was difficult. No,
I think Alan might hit me by the time the show's over. I'm not sure. But we're gonna have fun no matter what. All right. So the first thing we usually do with guests, I mean, y'all don't really have a background check story, but y'all are here. So the on the front part of our show, we say your background shouldn't hold you back; it should pay you back. And so we're trying to let people know the message is you don't have to let what happened to you in your background hold you back. Okay. In fact, put a demand on what it stole from you, whether it stole time, money, relationships, anything. And but the other thing we do, our podcast is motivational, inspirational, and informational. And you guys, One Man's Treasure, fits into several of those categories because one, you're informational. You're gonna be giving everybody really good information that they can use even before they get out with the application. When they get out, get the clothes, the stuff. But you also give them resource centers. You give them a resource guide with other stuff. But also what you do is inspiring. And it helps them to inspire themselves, stay inspired. And so I can't wait for you guys just to share. Let's talk about the history. The history, Alan, you may or may not, be suited to answer this question as well as Annette right now. I don't know. Maybe she's giving you a history lesson on when they started and how they started and whatever. But let's address when did you start? Where did it come from? And then we'll talk about where you are now and where you're headed. So.
Absolutely. I'll say just a couple of things and then I'll refer to it.
Yeah.
The organization's about 16 years old, 16, 17.
Really? Okay. So it started a year after I got out of prison. So you weren't even in business.
We've been around. We've been around a long time.
I've been out 17 years, so that's cool.
We've been around a long time. Started by a lady named Mary Carter, who had a vision that I relate to. That we've got necessities in life. We got to have clothing. We got to have food, and we got to have shelter. And we provide resources for all of those things, but she wanted to focus and had a vision of focusing on clothing men who come out of prison with nothing.
Yeah.
$50, bus ticket, way out of town. And whether they're going with a family, whether they're going to a shelter, that we provide something to make them feel really good about themselves. And that vision has taken root, and it's taken root and blossomed because of people like my colleague, Annette, who is our Director of Development and Program Services. And I'm going to turn it over to her just to give you a little bit more detail about the history.
Yeah, because, you and Cherie are pretty much the only ones I've ever dealt with, other than the shepherds that have delivered stuff to the house. But y'all are the only ones I've known, so y'all, to me, y'all have been one man's treasure. And, but Alan, you did a great job given the history of it. Proud of you, man. You're already doing good.
Thanks,
All
man.
right.
The interesting thing about becoming involved with One Man's Treasure was I was not really aware of this basic need that the men coming out had. And it was not until I got involved with Cairo's prison ministry at the Beto unit and met Mary Carter, who was the founder, who my eyes were open to this. And God really called me to do this. And so we have gone from, it was founded actually in 2005.
Okay.
So we're at 18.
That's 18,
right?
yeah.
18. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And we have,
He'll get it right sooner or later.
check.
Got to do a pop quiz later.
We have clothed over 19,500 men since it started.
Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
And it started in Rockwall and expanded, of course, into Dallas. And from there has grown where we are now clothing men in 13 counties, going from Fort Worth up to Denton, out to East Texas as far as Longview, and south.
Okay. So I'm glad I'm hearing this because I didn't know what else. I know y'all expanded to Fort Worth, but I know a long time ago I asked you, I'm like, hey, do you do Fort Worth? And you didn't at that time.
Right.
And so I'm encouraged by hearing. I didn't know Denton and other. Tell me all the counties again.
Can I put my glasses
Absolutely,
on so I can
absolutely,
read?
yes. I mean, Alan should have it memorized.
I should have them memorized.
All right, for those of you who don't know, Alan, how long have you been with the organization?
I've been with the organization for 7 weeks.
7 weeks. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Thanks, Bud, for the grace.
And I've been here since 2010, and I still have to read them because they keep growing.
Yes.
Dallas County. Okay, these are all counties: Dallas, Tarrant, Denton, Collin, Ellis, Navarro, Rockwall, Hunt, Kaufman, Van Zandt, Henderson, Wood, Smith, Gregg.
Okay. I had no idea.
And there's a couple of counties over in East Texas around Longview and Tyler that might fall into another county there, but we're still able to help them. If they're being served out of the parole office in Longview or the parole office in Tyler,
Right.
then those are areas we can.
Okay, so we'll get to the application part in just a minute, but let's talk about just the delivering. So when you talk about these counties, like I live in Ellis County, our transitional house is in Dallas. So everyone who comes to the transitional house, we know that process. But if there's somebody out here in Ellis County that I'm ministering to on a one-on-one basis, and they just got out of prison, they need clothes, then you have a shepherd that comes all the way out here?
We have shepherds who live in those areas.
Okay.
That deliver the clothes for us.
All right.
And so one of the things that we search for are people of faith who are men of faith who are interested in serving our brothers in white and may not be able to go into the prisons.
Yeah.
But this is an opportunity for them to serve those same men.
Okay.
In a different way on
So
the
now
outside.
with those people, I mean, you're looking for people that, obviously aren't working a full-time job maybe. Are you looking for a specific demographic for the shepherd position?
No. They can be they can have a full-time job. This is a volunteer position.
So but like if somebody works Monday through Friday 8 to 5, are there times in the evening or on the weekends where they can be a shepherd and take clothes to people?
They actually set the time up with the client himself as to what works best. because as you well know, when the men get out at first, they have parole meetings to go to. They have different things that they're committed to, so they
Yeah.
work together.
All right.
So if anybody on the free world who has a call to do this, they can contact me, and
Absolutely.
I'd be glad to
And
share with them.
we'll put the information up at the end of the show. I don't know if it's the same phone number that somebody would call for that.
It'll
but
be
if
a
not,
different one.
We'll put both phone numbers up. Okay, so obviously there's clothes that are sitting right behind you. It looks like I see a dress shirt. It looks like I see a tie. So let's just start, Alan, if you don't mind. Let's just start talking about what all you guys deliver.
Well, it's I just went. I've been in. As we said, I'm in my 7th week.
Oh,
And-
so you need to refer to
No,
Annette again?
I don't. Thank you, buddy. But because of all the administrative stuff of starting a new job and everything, I actually got to go on my first delivery.
You did?
this past Friday.
Okay.
And it changed my life, buddy.
Oh, that's awesome.
I haven't ever seen anybody, and the stuff that we receive is, they call it gently used
Yeah.
clothing.
Yeah.
But we also receive a lot of stuff from different clothing manufacturers.
Right.
That's brand new.
Yeah, yeah.
This tie happens to be brand new. This shirt is very gently used, and it's an Ermangildo Zania shirt.
Yeah.
Which is probably worth $200.
If you can't pronounce it, then you know it's worth a lot of money.
It's probably worth $250.
Yeah.
And of course it changes depending upon the time of year
Right.
and winter. This
Absolutely.
is all summer stuff, but there's a polo shirt, another
So
polo
typically,
golf shirt,
typically what, 3? Is that 3 or 4?
4 or 5 shirts.
Okay.
Yep, and then
All right.
2 pairs of trousers.
So we got maybe a dress pants and jeans.
and jeans, yeah,
Okay.
and then there's the bag down there. But every
We
man-
don't have to pull that out, but we know there's shoes, belt. I know on the application you give them a choice of boxers or
Briefs.
briefs.
Yeah, and they get 5 brand new pair of briefs, socks, belt, and I went and I called Annette. It was one of the most amazing feelings of gratitude I have ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
Because this guy looked at this stuff like a little kid would look inside Santa's toy bag with wonder and awe at this new shirt and this new tie. Because the point is, we're about getting these men feeling better than themselves because the stigma attached with just coming out. And this guy looked at this stuff like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to go out and get a job. And he was. And he had done a degree, but he was in for 50 years and got out in 25 and had to be at home for a year on a leg bracelet. But he was so excited about going out and applying for positions and looking sharp, and he did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just a feeling of gratitude that I can't express fully enough. But it tied all those loose ends as the new executive director of working on budget, of working on personnel, of working on operations, of working with Annette, of learning the business end of it, of meeting board members, of meeting volunteers, of meeting donors. But then when we went and actually did, which is Annette always says to me, is the heart of the ministry, is going out with these men and actually doing what we do. It was life-changing to me to be so thankful for something that you and I and Annette and other people who we take for granted.
Yeah.
And it was I'll never ever forget it. And if I could go and do that every day, I would.
Yes.
But we're here talking to you today, and we got lots of other things to do that are as equally important. And so that gives you kind of an example of what we do, plus of all of the other resources. I mean, we obviously need clothing to exist, but we have resources for housing, resources for employment, and that we can direct them to.
Yeah, because one of the things that is in that bag is the little resource guide. Tell us about the little resource guide that y'all put in every in every package as well.
I'm not for sure how often these resource guides come out. They come out as often as we need, and we're constantly updating them. But there are resources in here that provide everything from hotline numbers to emergency services to mental health crisis services, suicide hotlines, department police, TDCJ reentry hotline stuff, everything about medical care, dental care, vision care, food pantry, meal services, substance abuse, legal aid.
Yeah,
One of
it's
my-
good stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. One of my favorite things is, and then we'll update this at the next printing, but one of my favorite things is there's a little note in here written from one of our volunteers, and this is just, and it doesn't have a name on it, but it's got a little cross on it with a flag. It says, "Be alert and of sober mind."
Yeah.
1 Peter 5:8, and that goes in his shoe. So when he puts his new pair of shoes on, he'll pull that out and see that, in addition to the reference guide that we've got, resource guide, that we're constantly updating every time we do a new printing.
That's so good. That's so
And
good.
I think one of the important things to stress to the brothers in the unit is you don't have to fill out the application in prison. You can call the toll-free number, which you're going to post.
Yeah. Just go ahead and say it right now.
It's 1-888-433-9826. And we will bring the clothes to you. You do not have to come to us to get the clothes, because we understand that transportation is a challenge
Yep.
when you get out.
Especially outside of the Dallas County area where there's no public transportation, like Ellis. We don't have public transportation here in Ellis County. So now just for forgiven felons, we send the application in when we accept somebody and send an acceptance letter to them, then we put the one man's treasure application in there. And so they get it. We tell them, like, hey, whenever you get your date, fill this out and send it in. We tell them to wait till they get their date, because man, sometimes they'll gain 20 pounds between the acceptance letter and the time they get out. So we tell them to wait till they get their release date, because usually it's a week or two out, and that gives you guys a better judgment on an accurate size. Now, I think you explained this on the application too, but just tell the men, that have been locked up 25, 30 years, that have not seen a ruler or a fabric measure or any kind of tape measure or anything. What's the best way to measure yourself if you don't know your sizes?
Well, one of the things, and I do want to stress this, that even if you've sent the application in, we need for you to call us when you get out, because we don't know that you've gotten out.
Right.
And the information may have changed. So when we're going over the application, or we're taking the application with you,
Right.
at that point you're going to have on something, okay?
Yeah.
And if you can't measure yourself, if there's not a way to do that, then what we usually do is we start with saying, okay, look at the tag in the back of your shirt and tell us what size it is. And we also ask for the weight and height. And kind of based on that, we can...
And they know their weight and their height when they get out, because they take those vitals
Right.
when they do all their pre-release paperwork. So, okay. So the guys that are coming to our house have the application already. So they're already trying to fill that out as best as possible. But for people that are going home or don't have a transitional house that's sending them an application, or they don't have access to the application, then they'll just take the number down when they come out to one of these counties that you talked about. Then they'll call the number, and now most of the time somebody answers when I call, but on the off chance, if they don't answer, please just leave a message. They always call me back if I have to leave a message. So if you don't get an answer right away, call or leave a message. Give them your phone number, all that, because they will call you back. So they get out, they call, and then they just discuss what their sizes with you guys. And what's the turnaround on getting the clothes to them?
Normally, if we have the clothing in the sizes they need, we're looking at a 7 to 10 day turnaround,
Okay.
depending on what day of the week that they call in.
Okay.
So
because you probably have certain days that you distribute.
Right.
Okay. I gotcha. That makes sense. All
And
right.
there are times it may be just 2 or 3 days if it hits right with our delivery.
Gotcha.
If we have to order clothes or something, it could be long. A little
Now, what kind of shoes do you guys give?
We have we ask what type they want. We have dress shoes, we have tennis shoes, and we have work boots, possibly in the sizes that they need. That is the secret, is whether we have in stock the work boots, if they ask for work boots or tennis shoes. Tennis shoes are really difficult, but those two are difficult for us to get.
Okay.
But they definitely will have a pair of shoes.
Okay. I know most of them, when they get out, they have tennis shoes already. They're not really good tennis shoes, but most of them have tennis shoes. I've noticed that when guys come to our place, they're wanting either dress shoes or they're wanting work boots. I've really noticed that. And so, did you ever did at one time you have a relationship with a boot manufacturer where y'all were getting more access to boots?
We have gotten we had Souls for Souls provided some work boots for us.
Because I know at one time you
and
were
some
you
of
were,
Red Wing's stores have worked with us to get work boots.
Because I know I called one time and asked if you had access to them, and you said that's just the hardest thing for you to get a hold of. But then I noticed on social media or an email or something where I thought that you had announced a relationship. I think it was a while back that you announced a relationship that would seem like it would give you a little more access to some of the boots. So because I know a lot of guys come out and they immediately go work in a warehouse where they
Absolutely.
where they want, either steel toe or hard toe boots or whatever, or just work boots, period.
Yeah, the gentleman we delivered to on Friday got a brand new pair of how many pairs of shoes did we get from Souls for Souls?
100 pair.
Yeah,
Wow,
and
so good.
most of them were soft toned calf skin steel-toed boots, and I mean it was a brand new pair.
So awesome.
It was awesome.
And then you also get a let's see if I can put it on. There's a ball cap. Point to the ball cap, Alan, right
Right
there.
up here.
So y'all give them ball caps too?
Yep.
If we've got a ball cap, they'll get one.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, did I miss anything? Clothes, shoes, belts. You do give them ties on request, or you just give them a tie, period?
You get a tie.
You get a tie. All right.
What we try to do, the concept is to have a couple of outfits that are appropriate for job interviews.
Yeah. Okay.
And then also clothing that is more casual, in case they go to work in an environment that they can wear the casual more clothes.
Yeah, that's good.
We also have, if someone's working like construction and they need work jeans, if we've got those in addition to the pants that they get, normally we will throw those in too.
Now I should have. I meant to print an application out and bring it down with me and go through it. But do you ask for color requests on there too, like favorite colors and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, can I speak to that just a little bit? Cherie is our one of our financial people, but she takes all the calls for people calling in to fill in those applications. And so, yes, they asked.
I didn't know she was in charge of the financial stuff. I thought she was in charge of people calling in and her taking the application.
Well, that's what she also does. That
she's
and
amazing at that.
She's yes, she is, and she asks what their favorite colors are, what their sizes are. Develops a relationship with them, where they're living, all that kind of stuff. And so they and we really do work to honor their requests.
Yeah.
And in most cases, I would say that we do.
Yeah, I mean you've hit the nail on the head on all the guys that have come through forgiven felons, and so I know a long time ago I'd mentioned to Annette, maybe Cherie, about the only gripe that anybody had coming out was boxers instead of briefs. The whitey tighties. Nobody wanted the whitey tighties. There are some people that want them.
And ask and you shall receive
Yeah,
now.
and then all of a sudden it's on your application. I think Cherie actually called me and said, "I just want you to know that," because I always ask. It never hurts to ask. So
Sure.
whenever they ask me, I'm like, I don't know. Let me call, and Cherie's always the one that answers. And so
Yeah.
I remember asking questions about the work boots, about the briefs instead of or boxers instead of briefs. And so that's great. That's great.
Well, and I think really what is important is to really understand that what we're trying to do is to be that first step in successful reentry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that what we're providing will allow them to have what you need to go on the job interview, to go to church. And we encourage people to find a church home.
Yeah.
Because we feel like that support system is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't remember where I read the stats from. I'll have to dig up and do it. But the recidivism stats dropped down to 13% for people who connect on the outside with a faith-based nonprofit or church community. And that just goes to show you that, if you get in the right people, places, things, if you get in the right community, hanging around the right people, going to the right places, doing the right things, your chances of success just skyrocket.
And your figure there, man, is exactly spot on for the people that come through One Man's Treasure. We're at about 13% of the men
awesome.
who we work with. The rest of Texas is about 22, 23%.
Yeah.
Alaska, for example, is 66, the highest in the nation. But we feel very proud of our work, and that the men who come through our program are at about 13% recidivism.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
And
Thank you.
And the beauty is that we've stayed in touch with men who have gotten the job that they wanted, who have moved back in with their families, who have started a productive life.
Yeah.
And one of the blessings we really get is when one of those men call and say, "What can I do to help One Man's Treasure?"
Yeah, absolutely.
And they become shepherds, delivering clothes for us, and they make powerful shepherds
Yeah.
because they've walked in those shoes.
I know Yuri Laquette would be a shepherd if he lived closer.
Absolutely.
But I know you're happy that he can sing too. I know he
Yes.
enjoyed coming and singing at y'all's. Was it your
Our
year's annual?
fundraiser, the gala.
Yeah. Talk about that. How if people want to donate, how do they donate? Do they just come to the gala every year, or is the golf tournament I think y'all are having now? And how do y'all raise funds? How do y'all make people aware of your needs, and how can they get involved? Just the general John Q. public.
Well, we have 3 to 4 major events per year. You can always get online and donate. And it's very clear there how to donate off of the website.
What's your website?
www.onemanstr.org.
All right.
And
Thank
so
you for the save there. Thank you. Thank you for the save.
She's good, isn't she?
He who
7 weeks
hesitates.
in, 7 weeks in, you should know the website, Alan. I'm just saying, man. 7 weeks in, should know the website. He's gonna kill me.
.org. You can give to the website. We also have October the 5th, a massive massive golf tournament coming up. There's information on there with a flag that drips across the website. That
We got the email.
Yeah.
Forgiven Felons might be bringing a team. So
Oh, great! Awesome, yeah. And then we do an end of the year ask. And then we also have a huge gala in the spring, March the 1st. And those are the 3 kind of big events that we have, but we have different asks throughout the year.
North Texas Giving Day is coming up. Y'all probably
Right.
do some asking then.
That's a big, big deal for us. And then also just be aware we're working every day on developing and implementing measures to increase our awareness in churches, because we receive lots of donation from major different churches throughout the Metroplex. So we're always looking for donations and clothing drives from churches for gently used clothing.
And there are some that are not gently used.
Yeah, and I can tell you that
I'm like, why even donate? Why are you? Do you look at these before you donate these?
Yeah, and you know our philosophy is that we don't give anything away that we wouldn't give to our husbands or our wives or our children.
And you'd think that most people have that in their mind before they donate.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, if this is what you, if you would give this to your own family,
yeah,
ooh, man. But I get it. I get it.
Exactly. So that's the philosophy, and it's true. It's real. I mean, I see it here. I saw it Friday, and I see it every time I see a set of clothing go out, and it's
and we've donated like we are a hub. People want to donate clothes to us all the time, and we don't ever say no, because we know that the guys coming out of prison may need a couple extra sets or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've accumulated so much. I think one time I had Cherie. I think y'all picked up maybe 15, 20 bags from us one time, and we get donations from like senior pastors and
right.
I mean, just nice. Like you said, $200 shirts, $500 pair of jeans, just incredible stuff. You know, ties that cost more than a whole wardrobe.
Absolutely, yeah, no, absolutely.
So and those are usually the people that we get donations from. Sometimes the guys are even like almost intimidated to wear them.
Yeah, sure,
sure. So as soon as we get all of our donations have gone through and everybody in the house, and we have a full house and everybody's got what they wanted out of there, and we don't have anybody coming in for a while, then that's when we say, okay, let's pile everything up and call one man's treasure.
Yeah.
And it's usually really good stuff. So we're blessed to be able to do that. So donations, shepherds. Can anybody be a shepherd, or just only the people that get out of prison that?
No,
Anybody can be a shepherd.
Yeah, anyone can be a shepherd. Yeah.
Do you do background checks for shepherds?
We do not.
No, we don't.
Good. Yay. All right. Just checking, because, everybody does background checks. On my intro, I say everybody does background checks now. So it's nice to be able to know that you can serve without, being disqualified for your past. So in fact, it's almost encouraged. So thank y'all for doing what you do. Okay. Donations, you have events. Are there any other ways anybody can be involved?
They can volunteer at our clothes closet.
Okay. And that means coming out there and doing some sorting, washing, all that.
And putting clothes together. The Bible verse cards that are in the shoes, you can just get an index card, at your devotion time, pick a verse and write it there, and just drop those in the mail to us, and we'll include those in the clothes too. Man. We have people who occasionally do some sewing for us when we need that. So they can call up at the phone number, and we can route you to the person at the clothes center that handles volunteer services.
Okay, all right. We'll make sure we differentiate between the phone numbers for the inmates to call and for the volunteer services to call. We'll put all those and make sure that everybody's calling the right number. So, well, man, I am so excited that you guys came on the show, because, like I said, I've been a fan of One Man's Treasure for a long time. You weren't there for me when I got out, but that's a joke. But that's okay, because you've been there for the people that I serve for a long time. And that means a lot to me. And
we're serving about 2,900 men this year, but we know that there's a lot of you that may be listening that don't know about us. And you can go to your chaplain at the unit. You can go to your reentry caseworker. They should have the applications If not, ask them for the phone number and call, and then keep listening to you.
That's
to
right.
the podcast,
There you
because
go.
you'll continue to promote that number.
Absolutely. It'll be on. They'll be able to watch it every single time on the tablet. So thank you guys for all you do, all you've done. Are there any plans for any kind of other adventure, expansion, anything in the works to do anything other than you're doing right now currently?
You know, I have to say about my friend Annette, we dream about the organization every day, and we talk every day, multiple times, and always praying for what God has in store and in mind, and what his dream and what his wish is. It's a fantastic organization, and so we're always thinking about ways in which we can grow, and we finally have in place a good and solid staff that they've always had, but we have a good and solid staff now that we feel like that we're on a projected path to continue to be able to raise resources and funds so that we can gather more and more clothes and do that part of the ministry of Christ, of doing for our brothers what he would do for us, and that's clothing, food, and shelter. And I'm honored to be their new executive director and to learn from and work with Annette in meeting people, in dealing with our board, but most importantly was the experience that I said that I had of actually, again, sitting behind a desk and writing papers and writing job descriptions and doing all that stuff an executive director does. But I went on a clothing delivery, and it changed my life, and it made me thankful for, a lot of the things that I have taken for granted. So I encourage all of you guys who are listening to please reach out and contact us, because we can find and will find clothing for you that will represent you and make you feel great about yourself and in your preparations for coming back into reentry.
Well, you just kind of already did what I was going to ask y'all to do here to close it out. I was going to ask you to look into the camera and talk to the men that you serve, and just give them a special message. So if you want to go, Annette.
God has led this ministry to be here to help you, and we are sure that with this kind of help and reaching out, you will be able to be successful when you come home. While you're in the units, look and do all that you can to prepare yourself for coming out, and God will lead you to be successful.
Amen. Amen. Alan, anything else you want to add to what you already said?
No, I just telling it. I mean, like we talk. God has a plan, and He's got a plan for you, man. And so we want to be a part of it, and we want to help you. So please reach out to us and let us do that. God bless you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you,
J-Dan,
guys. Yes.
God bless you for this opportunity and all that you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
To help men too.
Yes, ma'am.
You have made a big difference.
I definitely love what I do with my personal ministry, but for the last 2 to 3 years, I've loved being able to do this and being able to talk about other people's ministries and elevate them on the platform that God has given us. So that's what it's all about. That's what we're all about. Anytime God gives me a platform, I know it's not just for me. It's for me to help others be elevated as well.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing today. And we love y'all. We love what y'all do. We love what you represent. And you can feel the passion and compassion. And because without that, you're just handing clothes to somebody. But you're actually you're impacting a life. You're handing hope. You're handing, you're handing somebody confidence, you're handing somebody inspiration, motivation. And so it's not just a shirt, it's not just a pair of shoes. And so for that, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for all the ones you've helped in Forgiven Felons all these years since 2012 when we opened. And I'm thankful for all the ones you're going to help, and that all the ones you've helped outside of our ministry, because you guys have impacted a lot. And I can't wait to see what God does for One Man's Treasure, because I've seen y'all grow in your donor base. I've seen you grow in your events. I've seen you grow in so many ways, and God loves your ministry. And I know He's going to continue to do. He's gonna the prayer of Jabez over your ministry. You're gonna have to. I mean, He's enlarging your territory, and you're going to be serving more and more people, and you're going to have the resources and the funds and the staff and the people to volunteer and paid staff to do this on a level you've never experienced before. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. And thank you for letting me have you on the show and share your story.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You too, man.
God bless you all.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Background Check Podcast, brought to you by Forgiven Felons, helping people with a past realize their future. For more information, please visit forgivenfelons.org. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and please don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss the latest episode. I'm J.Dan Gum, and this has been Background Check.